Coming home, Kevin said, "Amy, they smell like old furniture." I said, "I don't smell anything." Yeah, riddled with mildew. Yeah, mildew, never fun, but we took care of it. I'm so pleased that you joined me today to check out our new adventure. Yes, Kevin and I purchased these side tables from Goodwill, and he smelled something in the car driving home, and I have a pretty good nose. I didn't. But lo and behold, as I was taking the drawers out to start cleaning it, I could see evidence of what appeared to be mildew. Now, in the process of taking these apart and cleaning them, I not only washed the exterior with hot water and Dawn dish detergent and then rinsed it with clean water, as I always do, but then I added some bleach to that hot water and I thoroughly cleaned every single millimeter of these pieces inside and out, even the hard to reach places. I put everything out in the sun, and then moments later when I went to bring it in, they didn't smell like anything. So I don't know, was that mildew and did I just eradicate it with the bleach, or was that mildew that was old and no longer living so it was easy just to vacuum it out? I don't know, but nonetheless, I am so pleased that I can just get started on this and not have to worry about spraying the interior and underside with shellac to block any odors. We're ready to go. Now, I've gone ahead and removed the hardware. I like the hardware, I just don't want it for this particular project, and so I have saved them in a container and I'll use them at a later date. What I will do now is repair some dings. This is a pretty good one, with some plastic wood, and then I'm going to not only smooth that out with my sander, but I'm going to also go ahead and do a simple light scuff sanding with 220. Ultimately, I'm going to paint these pieces, and you need to scuff sand, especially a slick surface like this, to create some teeth so that when you go to paint later, the paint has something to grip onto, to adhere to. It's raining, and I was really determined to spray the side tables with the primer, so I moved everything to our garage, and I'm getting ready to spray on some Kilz Restoration primer. I am going to add a little bit of water, not much. It's a very thick primer, which is kind of what I want because I need the good coverage, but I wanted to be able to go through my gun, my spray gun, too. All right, let's see how that. What in the world? I don't know why my paint sprayer is spitting like that. Shoot, I'm gonna have to hand paint this. I could have done this in the basement. I think something was wrong with that white primer, because when I took the gallon out and started to stir it, it was very thick on the bottom. I thought I had incorporated everything really well because I stirred it a lot. But something tells me that paint has gone bad and it was spitting out of my gun. So I have switched vessels and I will be spraying on my Valspar primer that's tinted gray, but it's the only other primer I can spray that I have. So here we go. thought, now what? The tube, air intake, I think it is, tube had come out. So I'm gonna put it back in, and now we should be able to spray. I'm going to test the pattern on the cardboard, and if it's good, then I'll put on my mask and spray the whole thing. One coat of primer on the pieces, and they look pretty good. I have lightly sanded and dusted off the tops, and I'm ready to paint. So one coat of primer did it. I'm especially not concerned about a second coat since the paint I'm putting on has a built-in primer as well. Paint day is always very exciting for me. So I am going to be using Valspar's cabinet and furniture paint in Ivory Dust. It's a color I've used before. It's a very subtle, slightly warm white. I think it's really pretty. I have a cold, guys, excuse me. So I only have about this much left of the can, so I bought a new gallon. I'm going to thin it into my paint sprayer and then start spraying it in the garage. I just added a little bit more water. I had already put about that much in earlier, so 2 times that amount you saw me pour in. And it really is, I don't measure anything, it's just a matter of what I think looks suitable. I don't want to thin this too much because it's white going on top of a gray, so I might leave it at that for now. The paint is going on pretty thin, so I'm going to watch it to make sure it doesn't run and drip. And when I add more paint to my sprayer for the second side table, the cabinet of it, I won't water it down as much. So I'm just going to watch this for a little bit, make sure it's not dripping. They're so pretty. Boo! It did drip a lot. Here's a really bad one. I don't know if you could see it from there. Even some of my drawers, because I couldn't store my drawers this way. They kept falling over. I don't know why. So I leaned them on the ground in this position, and you might be able to see, where is it? Yeah, there's a big drip too. So I have drips all over. I thought it was because I had added too much water to the paint, and I don't think that's it now. Because when I went in to clean everything up, I realized I had the paint flow on the sprayer way too high. So too much paint was coming out, and that's why it dripped. Rookie mistake. So what I'm going to do is take some sandpaper and try to sand those areas smooth. Then I touched up the raw spots with primer. Then when the primer dried, I then spot painted those areas white, so that when I sprayed the following day the second coat of white paint, everything would look uniform. Overall, I think it looks really good. This is 2 coats. Now you can still see in some areas a little patch of different color where I had to sand off and reprime those drips. So I'm going to do one more coat of paint after I dust these off. And to that, I will add some polyacrylic. My neighbor's cutting the grass outside, so I thought I would mention this indoors before I head out to spray. I have loaded up my paint sprayer with 2 parts of that ivory dust Valspar cabinet and furniture paint. And then I added 1 part polyacrylic. So 2 parts paint, 1 part polyacrylic. Now the Valspar cabinet and furniture paint has a built-in sealer, but it does take 30 days to fully cure. So that's why I always like to add a little polyacrylic to that last coat of paint, just to give the surface a little added protection while that paint cures. So let's head out, spray it, and then I'll be done. You've seen me use this hardware before. It's the gold T-bar hardware. I love it. And it comes with 2 different bolts. Now I purchased these through overstock.com. They're Glide Right handles. But you'll notice that the small one is way too small. And the large screw is way too long. So I've been snipping them with my bolt cutter. And now it's the perfect length. And with these knobs, I'm finally done. Now, if this is the kind of content that intrigues you, then go ahead and click that subscribe button if you haven't already, as well as the like button. And if you have any questions or any constructive comments, please leave me one below. I've enjoyed reading them and answering every single one.